Hey guys, it's Frog Slicer. I just want to hit you guys with another deck profile. Um, I don't own this one in paper, so we're going to be doing this on Dueling Book. This is my Nurse Burn deck. A lot of people are pretty excited about this one. I have a lot of fun with this deck, and it is more fun than good, but it is proportionally more fun than good. We have the three nurses. I don't even know what this is. I'm pretty sure this is just Nurse Replicule, the Fallen one. And what we do is we have a little trick that we do to search her out. So typically, especially in 2010 Yu-Gi-Oh, you just have a Sangan, you kind of hope to get lucky. But here we do a neat little trick with Black Garden. So we have Lone Fires and Mystic Tomato that can search for Sangan or Nurse. And if you have a Black Garden out, Black Garden's a really complicated card with a wall of text. But basically, when you summon something, it'll halve the attack of your monster. And it'll give your opponent an 800 attack token. So if you summon a Mystic Tomato, it'll become a 700 attack monster, and they'll get an 800 attack monster for you to ram it into. So you can throw tomatoes at their face like they're a bad comedian. So what you do is you put a Black Garden down, go Lone Fire, Mystic Tomato, Mystic Tomato, Mystic Tomato, into Dark Lord, into Nurse Replicule. And now your deck doesn't have any monsters in it except for a Morphing Jar and a Sangan. And the rest of your deck is gas. So if you happen to have a set Reckless Greed, you'll be drawing into redundant field spell stuff or burn cards. So the goal of the deck is every burn card does at least 2,000 damage. So we have this core engine of monsters with burn sources. So here, Nurse, Lone Fire, Tomatoes, then Sangan to search, Morphing Jar because it's really good in burn strategies or just alt-win stuff in general. We have a Lure for extra nurses. I actually feel like this deck could function fine with 2 nurses, but I run 3 for consistency, and if I happen to draw extra ones, then I have a Lure to turbo through the rest of my draws. We have triple Terraforming and triple Black Garden just because we want this combo. Brain Control is, we'll talk about Brain Control later. And then here we have Trade Heavy because if they have a Deep Prison or a Mirror Force, they can stop you. If they have a Torrential, they can stop you. The point is you're trying to load up their board, so you want to make sure your one play goes through, and you're kind of just taking punches to the face and hoping that you don't die while you're setting it up. Yeah, then the only other thing that isn't just a 2k burn card is Upstart. So if you have a Nurse out with an Upstart, not only does it draw you a card and add consistency, but it'll burn them for 1,000 damage too. So that's really nice. So if you're going to do it this way with the Gardens and the Tomatoes, then you want to wait until main phase 2 once you have your Nurse out to use your Upstart. And that's another way you'd be digging for these 2k burn spells. Which again, like if you have a gift card and you got to use an Upstart, then you only need 2 other. You need 3 total burn cards because gift card is 3k and Upstart is 1k. So these kind of pair off really well together. So for the rest we have Chain Strike, which is the worst of the burn cards, but it can pretty regularly get to 16 or 2k. So that's why it's there. The triple gift card, because this is like the poster child of the Nurse Burn strategy. So you got to run this one. Passive Destiny is the same thing. This is occasionally a stall card for you if you have to roll the dice. I have a few replays where it comes into play, where like say they have a instant speed answer to Nurse, like a Phoenix Wing or a Book of Moon or something. Then this you still have to like flip a coin and you might still win, right? Or I'm gonna die this turn, but if I get if I flip and I gain life on the attack, then maybe I don't die this turn. I'll kill them next turn. But otherwise, main strategy, you're just doing 2,000 damage with this card. So you filled their board up with Black Garden tokens, and you don't really care any other monsters they had. If they had like double Stardust or something, you don't care. You only give them 3 tokens, no big deal, because you're just trying to clog up their board so that Just Desserts and Secret Barrel do more damage. So again, the traditional version of this deck is you get a Nurse and you just hope to get triple gift card or any combination of gift cards and Passive Destiny. But here we're also filling up our opponent's board. So we have Just Desserts, should do 2,500 damage always. And Secret Barrel, I think it always does 2,100 damage at least. But if you're stalling for turns or you used a True Nade instead of a Heavy, this can do more damage. But yeah, so sometimes you get by with 3, any combination of 3. Sometimes you'll get combinations of, most of the time you need at least 4. And yeah, sometimes you get really lucky and you'll have a Nurse with an Upstart. So here, Reckless Greed is probably my least favorite card of this deck, and an improved version of this deck probably wouldn't have the Reckless Greeds. But right now, I like it because I'm just going for all in, pedal to the metal, hope Reckless Greed will get me there. So either it helps initiate, so if I have 1 or 2 turns of damage I can take, Reckless will help me get there, and hopefully I get the blowout turn. Or if you're able to play conservatively, like I said, you thin your deck of all your monsters, this should hit one of your many damage sources. And that's kind of the idea. This is worth 2 cards of burn damage if you're able to do it after you've thinned your deck. And then this last card is kind of a flex slot. I've considered a lot of things. I've considered Battle Fader, because I can do my tutor chain. If I already have a nurse, I can do my entire tutor chain for a Sangan, and then have my Sangan die, and now I have a Fader, so all the 800 attack tokens, if I fill up your entire board, that's 4,000 damage come at me, if you're not able to out any of the tokens or whatever. But yeah, if you can search for a Fader, then you're buying a turn, and then next turn you go off. No big deal. You use your normal summon on the nurse, and the rest of your deck is all gas, right? Alternatively, I've considered Marshmallow or Spirit Reaper. Both could be really good, and they're probably really worth including. But right now, I'm just, like I said, all in. Or even Dark Ump Dragon. 2,800 damage, almost always, because you're going to clear out whatever you need to clear out. There's a lot of different ways you can go with this. But yeah, right now it's Brain Control, because this is one of my favorite cards. And it's just kind of a blowout. Like, if they just summon something, and you don't want to summon anything your turn, you can just take their monster and swing them in the face. So this is regularly like a 1,600 to 2k burn damage card. Or a neat little trick is if you're doing the full Lone Fire Tomato play, and you have a Black Garden, you can take the monster that's stopping you, and at the end of your turn, like say it's a Jinzo, right? You take a Jinzo, and you fill up their board. At the end of the turn, when the monster goes back, it gets destroyed. That's the ruling for Brain Control. So if you can fill up their zones, then Brain Control can be hard removal too, and that's kind of why I included it. But yeah, so this deck, I wouldn't say it's competitive, but it is really, really good at stealing games, and sometimes you can get really lucky, and I'm going to continue to show you guys some replays of that. I thought I would whet your guys' appetite for some of the cool things you can do with this deck. Here I'm playing against Fitz. Ignore the fact I lost the first game of this match, but Fitz is one of the top 10 players on the format library ladder right now, and he's my teammate. He's a really good player, and I get a really fun game against him, game 2. This one I've been meaning to show off for a while. I really like it. I don't have to fast forward these replays. But yeah, so this is a pretty decent hand, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I get to go first because I lost the first game. So let's see. Oh, I draw a Nurse. So Nurse 2 starts in a gift card. That's pretty nice. That's 5,000 damage accounted for. Oh, look at that. Okay, so yeah, sometimes you have all these synergies to make your deck more consistent, but here we have 6,000 damage on turn 1, and then I just go ahead and show him that I have 2 gift cards. This is interesting, though, because he had the Book of Moon, and I actually have... this is kind of a necessary card. So, in theory, he could have played around this in such a way that I wouldn't have lost, but the moment he summons a monster, the Just Desserts gets him. But yeah, so here you would like resolve your cards, but just double gift card with Nurse after a double upstart. That's what steals this game. This doesn't happen often, but it can happen, and that's kind of the cool thing about this deck.